I am not an African American. I don't have an afro, I have an Amerifro. There are no African drums beating in my chest. The American guitar playing in my heart. I'm as black as the ace of spades. If you turn these lights out, the only thing you will see is white teeth. I spoke at the UCLA to the Bruin Republican Club, and there was at least one Democrat there who admitted that they were a Democrat. I show how racism and police brutality did not exist, that it does not exist. All this mess is just made up by the children of the lie in order to keep you angry and divided and under their control. So I show how racism and police brutality do not exist, how separation from your father leaves you lost and empty. The worst thing that can happen to children is to, young and old, is to be separated from their fathers. You know, you look around, where's Susie? She's on vacation. Because it was an embarrassment to be having children out of wedlock in those days. Abortion was unheard of. Never heard of anyone having an abortion. And now today, it's out of control. And it's because of the destruction of the home and the dependency on government and someone else to take care of you. I've often said that blacks are not suffering because of this idea of racism, destruction of the family, and the lack of moral character. The worst thing that can happen to children, boys and girls, never matter the race, but the worst thing that can happen to them is to lose their relationship with their fathers. And it's the worst. When your father's not there, or if he's there and he's a weak man, it leaves an emptiness deep down in your soul. It leaves a void in your life. And it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how educated you are or not. It doesn't matter what color you are, male or female, where you live. If you don't love your father, it leaves that emptiness there. Nothing else can fulfill that but the love of a father. And I'll tell you why I know this for sure. My father and mother were dating when they were teenagers. My father got my mother pregnant. And when he told her about it, when she told him about it, he denied it. He's like, no, that's not my baby. I didn't do that. And my mother became angry at him. And when she became angry at him, she didn't want anything to do with him. And so my mother got married before I was born because, as I said, it was an embarrassment to have children out of wedlock. And so she got married so that I would not be born out of wedlock. My stepfather was a good man. You know, he really was a good man. He tried to treat me as his own, but inside of me, inside of my body, I didn't want him. I wanted my real father. I didn't want a stepfather. I didn't want a substitute. My soul yearned for my real father. And whenever I would ask my mother about him, she would say, forget him, he's no good. And so I became angry at her. And as you know, when you resent someone, when you're angry at a person, you become like the person that you hate. You take on their identity. So I became very insecure, had a lot of doubt, fear, and all that stuff. Couldn't function. I couldn't stand up to women. I would do everything I can to please them so that we could get along. You guys understand that, right? Yeah, you know, guys, you spend all your money on them, you know, all that. Because I didn't know how to deal with women, because I didn't know how to deal with my mother. Also talked about how Obama divided the races, but Trump is uniting them. I demonstrated how Donald Trump held the last press conference that he held. He took a branch off of a tree and just whooped the media. I told you to stop being so angry and nasty and mean.
When I was called out on Mexico, I was really, really surprised. But I said, it doesn't make sense. That won't happen. But that wasn't that important to call. It was fine. I could show it to the world, and he could show it to the world. The president, who's a very fine man, by the way. Same thing with Australia. I said, that's terrible that it was leaked, but it wasn't that important. But then I said to myself, what happens when I'm dealing with the problem of North Korea? What happens when I'm dealing with the problems in the Middle East? Are you folks going to be reporting all of that very, very confidential information, very important, very, I mean, at the highest level? Are you going to be reporting about that too? So I don't want classified information getting out to the public. And in a way, that was almost a test.
Donald Trump held a press conference, a news conference the other day. Did you see that? I was like, yes! Right on! My grandmother used to take a switch off the tree to whoop us when we do wrong. Donald Trump went out and took a branch off the tree, and he whooped the media.
I don't mind bad stories. I can handle a bad story better than anybody, as long as it's true. And, over a course of time, I'll make mistakes and you'll write badly, and I'm okay with that. But I'm not okay when it is fake. I mean, I watch CNN, it's so much anger and hatred and just the hatred. I don't watch it anymore because it's very good. He's saying, no, it's okay, Jim. It's okay, Jim, you'll have your chance. But I watch others too. You're not the only one, so don't feel badly. But I think it should be straight. I think it would be frankly more interesting. I know how good everybody's ratings are right now, but I think that'd actually be better. You have a lower approval rate than Congress. I think that's right. I don't know, Peter, is that one right? Because, I think they have I heard lower than Congress. But honestly, the public would appreciate it. I'd appreciate it. Again, I don't mind bad stories when it's true.
He said to MSNBC and CNN, I told you to stop acting this way. You're mean, you're nasty. Cut it out. I'm not going to take this anymore. Shut up. They're like, yes, sir, Mr. Trump. and one guy, a Jewish guy, stood up. He said, all right, you want to ask a question. Make sure it's a good question. Yes, it's a good question. And the guy got up and asked a dumb question. And Trump said, sit down. You said it was going to be, you just lying. Who else does that? You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know one other Republican representative that would have done that. And so he whooped them. Did you see the whooping? Sit down. I told you to shut up. Stop being nasty. Stop being mean. That's not good. See, then like, I'm sorry. Don Lemon, poor Don Lemon. You know who he is? Don from CNN, the black guy. Oh man, he's falling apart. Don is literally falling apart before our eyes. So I'll ask that you guys pray for him. And it went well. It was fun. So thank you, UCLA Bruins Republicans, for having me there. It was Thursday, February 23rd at 6 p.m. And thank all of you for showing up, too. And the Barnes folks, thank you for your support, showing up last night. It was great. And I absolutely appreciate it. It was just great. It was absolutely good.